What is going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here with another video for you guys here. We actually had a huge dump of snow from overnight, and so just with regards to my work, it's been kind of quiet, and it's kind of an office day. So I had some time to, pump out another video and work on some other videos. But I wanted to get this one out to you guys quickly because I do have a little bit of an agenda as well. But anyways, let's get into this Odin. Uh, Father of Realms event. So this is going to be going live in a few hours here at the reset, and I've had time to kind of digest it now as well. And for sure, I feel like for the most part, the diamonds and everything are quite attractive for Odin. And maybe I should have mentioned this earlier in my other video this morning, but once I've had some time to digest it, and I actually looked at some of my other spreadsheets as well. What I do is I keep track of where I rank in all the leaderboard events, and I also place how many power cores, like with regards to the last one where Silver Sable, I had actually expended basically over 30,000 power cores, right? And I placed in the top 3,000. Now, anyways, so it's kind of odd because we've never seen Scopely place such high diamonds in the top 10,000 before, and of course, I feel like this is a trap. Now, for those of you that don't have diamonds on him, this is definitely a great opportunity. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is very, very enticing, I think, for a lot of people because they might want to push for those easy diamonds. And again, as well, we already chatted about how you can have the inputs. You can get the Clintar 2 from the Echoes of Abyss, which goes live this week on the Friday, and then you get additional points for Nova, and then of course as well the biggest is the energy spending. And again, I feel like with all these back-to-back energy spending events, I feel like they're really trying to gouge all the hoarders. They're trying to hurt the hoarders and hit them hard because I feel like something is coming, right? And keep in mind, guys, the top 10,000. So as I already said, I keep spreadsheets of, how I place in ranks in current leaderboards, and usually with the ones kind of around the 10,000. And I looked at my spreadsheet here, and I'm not going to pop it on the screen here because the spreadsheet actually kind of looks gross and messy, and it kind of shows you like, it's boring to look at, basically. But the last time I placed in the top 10,000 was in this clause from the past event where I was able to hit the top 9,000 with fairly minimal power core spending. So usually I do two approaches. I first math out how much I need to get into the top 3,000 or 4,000, and I kind of clock it into my spreadsheet. And then there's another section where I clock it when I don't really care about the event, but I still try to get the most efficiency. And of course, back then when when we're all doing that race to Blue Marvel, this clause from the past event kind of came out right before his event ended. And of course, I didn't care, but if I still wanted, to get some ions, because I think if you place in the top 10,000, you always get that, you always get a little bit of ions, and it's not a lot. It's not a lot, but it does add up. And of course, back then I was kind of like, my eyes on the prize was Blue Marvel. So of course I was like, yeah, I'm going to minimally spend and see where it places me. And of course, I'm seeing here, I spent about 1,600 power cores, and I got about rank 9,000. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, over the course of this event, I don't feel like if you spend 1,600 power cores, I definitely don't feel like you're going to get in the top 10,000. So of course, every event is different. And because the diamonds on this guy is very south out, it very could likely be if you're spending 4 times 50 refreshes and then 4 times 100 refreshes, that's 600 cores a day. You're gonna be able to clock out past my my 1,600 power cores in about 2 or 3 days. So definitely for sure, I feel like this is gonna be a higher input for sure. And I feel like it's also a trap because, like I said, they're trying to gouge out all the hoarders that have been sitting around with all this massive amounts of energy. I expended most of mine on the last leaderboard event, so I can't even really partake. Now, having said that, I myself have a 1 diamond Odin. So I mean, of course, going from 1 diamond to 2 isn't really that big of a stat increase. So of course, that's the other point I want to get at is I actually have the luxury where I can skip this guy. Now but for those of you guys that don't have any diamonds and you have the 7 red for him, then of course it's enticing. And even actually, if you look at the top here, even to get into the top 5,000, you would end up with a 3 diamond. So this is where I feel like this is too good to be true. Like, they're just handing out his diamonds like it's candy. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. If I was in your shoes and I had lots of energy poured up and I have the potential to push in this leaderboard, I probably would. But in this case, I feel like this is a trap that's coming, and I want to make sure that you guys are aware of it, because I do feel like, let's be honest here, lately with how things have been with Scopely, they have not been generous, right? They haven't given us anything, right? The compensation was crap for Magneto. They took away our bonus rewards for the this multiversal couples. Like I don't know what happened. It says, like, look, we've maxed out this guy at 125 million, and look, now we're at 156 million. So we're 26 million over the whatever this bonus, whatever the milestone 20 was, and we never had any extras. And then they also clawed back on the Save the World milestones as well. Like, what the heck happened to these rewards? Like, and then all of a sudden they decide out of the goodness of their heart that they're gonna give us these extra diamonds. No. I don't believe in coincidences, and this is not a coincidence. I feel like there's something else coming after this. And yes, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, going from a 7 red diamond Odin to, let's say you get in the top 5,000, you get a 3 diamond. Like, that's pretty big. Just imagine if you're fighting an arena and you're fighting with a 7 red Franklin, and everybody else has 3 diamonds on Franklin. Like, that's a huge. I think it's 100% stat bump increase, right? Like, let's go into the roster here and have a look, actually. But it's obviously, it is a lot. It is a lot of it is a lot when you look at the diamonds in the stats and everything, right? Did you just click on this eye here? Why is that looking? Right. So if you go from 7 red to 1, you get 90%, and then going from, so you get basically 125% stat bump, if I'm reading this correctly, and I could be reading it wrong. I actually don't know. Sometimes I don't know. It goes from 75 to, yeah. So for me to go from a 1 diamond to a 2 for an extra 15% increase in stats, yeah, that's not worth it for me. But if you guys are also in the same shoes and you have a 1 diamond already, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's in your interest to, to use up that energy for the extra stat. I would caution, I would heed caution with that, because yeah, it's a little bit of a situation right now where I do feel like it is a trap. There's no way these guys are that generous, right? I've never seen them handle diamonds like this. And usually when they do something like this, usually that means something else is around the corner. Like, does that mean they're gonna? And it has been a full, almost. It's been about a year. And it'll be 2 years, right? It'll be 2 years since Odin's been released. Come middle of the year here. So yeah, I mean, it's about that time where they may release his diamonds into the actual store, and then of course people are gonna be like, "Are you serious? I pushed on a leaderboard and I spent all my energy and my cores just so they could have these out." Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, if you got no diamonds on them and you have the potential to get a 3. Then by all means, right? You can definitely push for it. But I'm going to stay with my stance, and I'm going to be hoarding up my energy, and I'm not going to be partaking in this event. And you know what? Hopefully, for those of you guys that don't participate in the event, that actually helps everybody else out, because then they don't have to push as high, right? So don't like decide, hey, I want to push in this event, and then all of a sudden you decide to pop out of it, right? Like, make a firm stance now, because people are going to be looking at their rankings every single day when this event is live. And they're going to make a decision, right? Whether or not they should push cores. And as I already said, when I did the top 10,000 with the claws from the past, and I got my minimum ions for that, I spent about 1,600 power cores. And if you're wondering how I spent that 1,600 power cores, I think there were some of those bonuses where you spend the 800 cores and you get that deal offer. And then I think what I did was I actually spent 2 of those, and then I think I did some energy spending or something. I forget. But it was fairly minimal, because at that point I was like, oh, I'm already in the top 10,000. That's great. Actually, I think I was in the top 9,000. Based on my spreadsheet here, it says I was ranked 9,206 or something. But anyways, yeah. So just so you guys are aware of that. And then, just beware that this could potentially be a trap. So the other point I want to get to you guys here is, again, I'm trying to use my my connections here so that we can get a speedy recruit. But I just want to make a shout out here to my boy Sentry. He's been toughing it out with us. He's been waiting a long time in the game to get his Sentry unlock, and finally when he did, yeah, the game was kind of in a stale state, and he's been toughing it out and sticking with us for quite some time now. And shout out to you, brother, for making that choice, because it is a hard one, guys. It is. Sometimes when the game's not fulfilling what you need out of it, it really sucks. And I know the community is great and everything, but end of the day, like, you have to look after yourself, right? So Shout out to you for sticking out with us, and he is sticking around here until we find a recruit. So I want to make that shout out again that we are looking for a member. And again, if you guys had seen some of my other videos, I'll kind of pull up the old infographic here. I was too lazy. I didn't want to update it. I'm in the office as well, so I don't have access to all my all the stuff that I usually have when I'm at home. But yeah, we are more PvE focused, focusing on raids and battle world. And again, this D10 100 was our previous. We're still hitting 100% on the D8s and the D9s, but just be aware that our difficulty did drop down a bit because yeah, there's no way anyone's doing D10 right now, right? Nova is not in the game yet, so even if you have everybody leveled up, there's no way you're doing D10. So that's just kind of where it's at there. We are still smashing 2.2 100%, and D6 we had that range between 7 to 100 shards, but of course we got that extra 50 shards this week from the exploit. But I imagine when it does come back, we'll still consistently hit the 100 shards with no problem here because we do have a very good group of individuals. We are quiet, but we are very active, and everybody just crushes the content because a lot of us we've been together for quite some number of years. And as well with war, we are fairly casual with war, so that this might not be the alliance for you if you're looking for something more competitive. I don't feel the need to push our players or our teammates for war teams. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a few of us. There's a few of them, and myself included. We still try to hit maximum attacks. We still try to blow the rooms out and everything like that. Because the more you clear, the faster you can get rewards and you can get fractals. And of course, as well, if we win, we get more additional goodies. But I don't force our players or our teammates to force teams and waste those resources because yeah, it's not something we need right now. And until they fix war, that stance is not going to change. And actually, it gives balance back to our players. I think a lot of players, that are in our group, we're tired. We're veteran players that have been here since launch. And dialing back on the war has been so good. We were very war offense based a while ago, and dialing back has just given everyone some peace and clarity. And I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with giving everyone less stress and less more time with the family and less stress and focusing in on the game, right? With the targets and making sure you get your minimum 10 attacks and all that good stuff, right? So anyways, so again, with requirements, we don't have really like a minimum TCP requirement. So long as you have all the raid teams built and you can do the D8s and the D9s, we're happy with that. So just keep that in mind. And really, the big ask here is we just want you to be active. We want you to help the Alliance out, whether it's in raids or whether it's in Battle World, or if there's events going on that you want to maximize the free-to-play shards. Like, that's all we want, right? And then communication in Discord if you can't. We are fairly flexible. With Discord, if you're away on vacation for a week or two, or if you're, you have to take some time away for a little bit just to recharge, we're not going to boot you for it, but we'll understand it. Like in that case, if you're gone for like a limited time, like a month or two, we are able to sub you into another alliance, and then we'll get you back in when you are back, and vice versa if you're on vacation for like a week or two. I'm fairly flexible with it. Our group is good. They understand because we know life always comes first before the game. So that's kind of my mindset. So again, we're fairly friendly. We're consistent in clears. We have a fairly casual war environment. And of course, I think the most important thing is we're very stress-free. And I think everybody does have a fairly good time here. I'm just trying to remember here because my memory is always not the greatest when I'm sick here. But who was it here? Yeah, we have had a couple of new additions. But last week we had Beeswax. He joined us. So, brother, if you're watching this, you comment and tell them how great of an alliance we have. All right, man. You tell them that we're kicking ass and everyone's loving it here. But anyways, hopefully that helps you guys out. So Discord is in the comments if you guys are interested. How it works is when you go into the Discord, you would just let them know, hey, I know Allspark Heroes is recruiting right now and they have a spot and I would be interested. And of course, then what you would need to do is you would need to screenshot and show us your rosters. We have to take the best of the applicants. So whether or not your teams are built or not, we will have to, for our group as well, we want someone that's active and we also want someone that has the teams built up, right? Now, I'm not expecting you guys to have immortal weapons, and I'm not expecting you guys to have champions built up. But at minimum, because, a lot of these other character teams have been out for a good part of the year, if you don't have Insidious 6 or Hellfire or even Vigilantes built up, that gives me an indicator that, we might not be the right fit for you, right? Because we are, at the end of the day, we are still pushing 100% content for the raids, and we do want to push 100% as much as we can for the rewards, because this game is so stingy right now with the rewards. So we have to maximize, right? And of course, I don't want to upset everybody else in the group if we bring in someone new and they're not able to keep up, right? So I do have to vet for that. Do keep in mind we have internal and exterior posts as well. And of course, if you're in AllSpark already, you get priority over that. So make sure you join the Discord, because if we don't see you in the Discord, they won't really get your they won't get your request into me. And yeah, usually it's either me or Rage. We'll kind of vet you through and we'll check your roster out, and then we'll kind of go from there. But hopefully that makes sense. And do keep in mind, even though you guys, if our spot is filled up, there was a few people that had messaged me after Beeswax had messaged me, and we were able to find spots for them in AllSpark. It doesn't necessarily have to be in our alliance, but if you guys are looking for something active and you guys are able to, have similar teams, and you're looking for something that is better for your rewards, and let's say your alliance is kind of struggling a little bit with certain things and you're not happy there, then for sure we can find a place for you guys. Because at the end of the day, I want to help the community out, and it's not always just about our alliance. If we can find someone that's perfect for our group, end of the day, that's amazing. Because yeah, like I said, I feel like we've had the same group of guys for, I'd say about 90% of the guys have been with us since kind of the start, and I am starting to lose my long time alliance mates, because this game is not going anywhere. They've been stingy with the rewards. They've been stale with everything. Their communication and the customer service has been absolute crap. And when they message me and say, hey, I'm retiring because this game's gone to crap, hey, I say, you know what, power to you, because I don't blame you. The game's not in a great state right now, and I'm sorry, guys. That's kind of my long ramble there. But anyways, if you guys have any questions about it, I'll just quickly pop into my raids here so you guys can kind of see where we are ranked. We dropped a little bit off because of the fact that we had to dial back on the raids, but yeah, we are still, like I said, nearing 100% for the D8s here. And again, with War, am I able to look in the rankings? I don't even know if I'm able to look in there, but let's have a look here. Right now, we're not doing too bad, but like I said, fairly casual. And if we go to league info, maybe they have that stuff there. I don't know. So ranking. So top 1,000, I think, for whatever this one is. And I don't know why they have like different leaderboard. I don't know. Top, yeah. So basically top 1,000-ish for both of them. And yeah, I don't know if anyone even cares about Jeff anymore. But anyways, we'll get our payout on Sunday. And so hopefully that helps you guys out. If you guys are interested, like I said, do message me either on you can YouTube me, or you can also message me on the Discord as well. Once you join into AllSpark, you can actually directly just tag me and you can message me. But when you do join the AllSpark, you do have to create a ticket, and when you create that ticket, you say, hey, I know AllSpark Heroes is hiring. Here's my roster check. Can you send this over? And then they'll basically, they'll send it over to me. And like I said, please have your team's ready to go with the screenshots and whatever. You can just go into raids here, and I think if you just take a couple screenshots of your, whatever your team's looking like, it doesn't matter. Like I said, your TCP could be, actually, let's go into our alliance here. Like Larson here is at the bottom here with Rage, and they're both in the 160s. So, I mean, if your TCP is like less than them, and you have all your teams built, I don't care. I don't care what your TCP is. If you have the teams built, that's not going to stop me from not getting you into our group. But having said that, if the next guy submits his roster to me, I will unfortunately have to take the guy with the bigger roster with the raid teams. But if the smaller TCP guy has a better built raid roster, I'm sorry, end of the day, I'm focused on raids more than I am about anything else. And yeah, if the other guy has a better built, well-rounded roster, and he's got Battle World and whatever else and war teams, then like I said, it'll be a decision that we'll make together. And honestly, at that point in time, if the rosters are fairly similar and they can handle both raid sections, I will have to come by like a first come first serve basis, because I can't really choose the bigger guy just because he's got bigger teams. It's whoever's best fit for our group. And if you're active and you want to grow with us, then of course I want to also make you better as well in the group. And yeah, like I said, we do have a fairly stress-free environment, and everyone seems to get along quite well. So anyways, like I said, if you guys are watching any of my alliance mates, say something in the comments. Tell them how awesome it is to be here. I'm a little tired of hiring. So anyways, thanks, guys. Always appreciate it. And again, just thank you for your thoughts. Hopefully this video has helped you guys out in terms of determining if you guys want to, partake in this Father of Realms leaderboard. Like I said, I'm going to stay with my stance here, and I'm going to stay off the charts and let you guys go ahead. And if you guys are pushing it, then at least you have one person less to worry about. All right, guys, thank you for watching, as always. And stay warm, stay healthy, all that good stuff.